Heyo, fantasy people. This is your commissioner and former two-time champion looking to make it three-time. I don't know if y'all noticed, but my team out of the draft was picked to be number one. That said, we all know the projections lie, so I'll probably wind up 12th. Speaking of, I looked in the league history, like in 2020, I came in last place. I didn't know that, or maybe I just blocked it out. I don't know. Either way, I'm coming for the title this year, so you better prepare yourselves. I'm feeling good about my team. Let's talk about our week one matchups. First off, let's start off with Memphis Mains. I know he's looking to get a title this year, former champ there with Drummond. He's right now picked with like a 57% chance to win against Too Good For You. He's planning on doing it with Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs. He's got a stacked lineup. I remember watching it in the draft going, dang it, somebody needs to bid on these guys because Drummond can't get this many good players. Meanwhile, Too Good For You had a rough draft. I don't know if he auto-drafted the whole time, but I know there was a lot of auto-draft. He ended up with Cup, spent too much on a guy that was questionable. The day of our draft, we got the news that he'd had a setback. So, Cup's out. So he really needs a big game out of his running backs, Chubb and Eckler, because his wide receivers are weak. But I am glad to see that he took Cup out of his lineup this morning. On to our defending champion, Slummy the Buckless Troll, hoping to make it a repeat. The only person in the league that's ever done a repeat is this guy. That's right. We had the 2017 season off. We'll just say that Hurricane started with an H. Hank, something. Sat on the Houston area for like over a week. I wasn't able to get the league going because I didn't have internet and whatnot. Anyway, Slummy looking to make it a repeat. He drafted Kelsey, went big on Kelsey. I think he spent like 65 on him. Finds out Kelsey's out, goes and picks up Sam Laporta, the rookie for Detroit. Puts up 8.9, a solid number. He's also got Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, so he's got some strong wide receivers. He's currently picked at 67%, but don't be fooled by that number because Tigo Biddies, my dog is making weird noises. That's Dunk, by the way, my Duncan boy. Tigo Biddies is got some zeros in his lineup because Zach Moss is not expected to play and Andrews is doubtful to play. So top two tight ends going against each other, but they're both probably not going to play. Anyways, he needs big games out of Chase. Jamar Chase to make up for Sky Moore put up a dud, man. Was that touchdown in the Super Bowl a fluke? I don't know, but he put up a .4. Man, the Chiefs wide receivers looked terrible, with the exception of Rice and I think Reynolds. But man, Tony and Sky Moore looked awful. So anyways, right now Slummy's picked it for an easy win, but if Tigo Biddies gets in there and makes some roster changes, it's going to tighten up. Jive Turkeys versus the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, my sister's team. So, Bubba Earl with the Jive Turkeys, man. This team is good. This team is very good. It is frighteningly good, especially with Adam Schefter's tweet this morning. I will not say X because I cannot believe that Adam Schefter is going to a rave or a Disco Biscuits show. So, I'm just going to call them tweets, all right? Schefter tweets out this morning, Jonathan Taylor passed his physical, which means he will be eligible to play come week 5. I think Bubba got him for like $7. Bought that dip, serious dip, right? Got him for $7. If he pairs him with Tony Pollard, whoa, man, that's a brutal team. He's also got Amon Ra St. Brown. God, I have a hard time with that name. Let's just call him the Sun God. Put up 19.1 on the Thursday night game. By the way, I was on the Detroit Lions. Picked him money line, picked him with the points, won big. Love being in a legal sports betting state. My Dunk is crying for his sister Donut, who I think is outside right now. Anyways, Bubba also drafted Deshaun Watson. I don't know if that was like during an auto draft period or if he actually wanted him. In other words, was Deshaun drafted with consent is my question. Bubba, only you can answer that. Anyways, Jive Turkey's currently picked at 59% over the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Herbert, I just got an alert that Tiggle Bitties is updating his team. She's got Justin Herbert. She's got CMC. She's hoping for Kyle Pitts to live up to the hype. Hopefully this will be a tight game. I would love to see my sister beat Bubba this week because, like I said, I am scared about this team, especially come week 5. And if Taylor ends up getting traded somewhere better, oh my God, it could be insane how good Bubba's team is. Next, we got Peyton's 5-head. E.T., I love the new team name. That is hilarious. I busted out laughing when I opened it up last night and saw that you changed your team name. He's picked at a 52% win ratio. He's got Josh Allen. He's got Mixon, Pierce, Connor. He's got all those really solid low-end running backs, man. He stacked them. That's what I plan to do in my team, and I'll talk about that in a sec. But that's just not the way that the draft went. Meanwhile, Trash Pandas says he's looking for the title this year. He's been to the finals. He hasn't won one yet. Had a brutal year last year when auto pick wouldn't bid on any players, and he got all $1 players. He's got Kenneth Walker. He needs to stay on top of that one. I've heard rumors that he might not play. He's got Mahomes. Mahomes put up 5-4 over the weekend. He picked up Aaron Jones in the draft, who I wanted. He's got A.J. Brown. He's currently up 27.54 over Peyton's 5-head, but like I said, the 5-head is projected to win. Now, on to the Georgia Peaches, another new team name. E.T. and Ryan, they've split ways. They each have their own team. Football team Fort Lauderdale is no longer a thing. We've now got the Peyton's 5-head and Georgia Peaches. Georgia Peaches, Ryan's team, they are picked as a 54% winner or ratio for winning. He's got Justin Fields. He's hoping for a big running day, and I'll tell you why. Because Fields' is number one wide receiver option, DJ Moore, plays for Dangerous Knights. Dangerous Knights has got a solid team, man. But he had a bad Thursday night. Gibbs only, I think, put up like 8 points, something, while, and Dangerous Knights has Montgomery, but he was sitting on the bench, put up, I think, 14. But Dangerous Knights went with Gibbs and Pacheco, both of which put up a typical Thursday. Well, actually, normally running backs are good on Thursdays. It's wide receivers and quarterbacks that suck. But not a whole lot. Like, he didn't get a lot of points. He got like 17.4 out of the two of them. So kind of disappointing there. So he's hoping for big games out of Olave. He's also got Hawkinson. Hawkinson could very well be tight end number 1 this week with Kelsey out. Andrews doubtful. Waller, I've got Waller. Waller's questionable. So there's a very good chance Hawkinson ends up being tight end number 1 now that he's over his contract-itis that he had during the preseason. So anyways, this game before Thursday was our tightest matchup. But because of the bad kind of turnout from Gibbs and Pacheco, it's kind of widened a little bit, but still pretty tight. Only 54% going towards the Georgia Peaches. And last but not least, we got my team, the Duncan Disorderlies. I renamed my team after our draft. We drafted at a local bar we'd never been to at night. And the locals would not leave us alone. They wanted to talk our ears off. And we're like, we're kind of doing a thing. Can you please go bye-bye? My wife, Crawdad Kate of Crawdad and the Ditch Chickens, she got it the worst because Steven Slummy and I just tuned them out. And they just talked at her all night. But she picked up some big-time players early on in the draft. She picked up Jefferson. She picked up Waddle. She picked up Devontae Johnson. Like, her receivers are killer. That said, she's really weak at running back. She's really weak at quarterback. She's starting the rookie, Anthony Richardson. We're going to see what the kid's got. She is going against me. I didn't write down what the win probability is, but I know it's in my favor. But I forgot what it is. I'm picked for like 125. She's picked for like, I think 105, right? That said, I've got some question marks, or I've got some Q's in my on my roster. Both Ramondre Stevens is questionable, as well as Waller, which I mentioned earlier. So if those two guys can't play, that hurts my overall score pretty badly. That said, I got Jalen Hurts. I got Derrick Henry, both of which I had no intention of drafting. In fact, Hurts, Henry, and Ramondre Stevenson, I didn't draft any of them a single time during mock drafts because that was just not the plan I was going in with. But they just fell to me. I got Hurts for like $27. I got Henry for $43. Think about that. His ADP was $58. Najee Harris went for like more, I think 40. So I got Henry for 43. Think about that. I got Stevenson for like 22. I was wanting to get Aaron Jones, who I think went for like 30, something like that. But I'm not going to complain about Stevenson at 22. I also picked up Calvin Ridley, which wasn't in my plan. Nonetheless, my team is this. I feel good about this team. In the past, I've been either too rigid to my draft strategy or I've gone completely off my draft strategy. This year, I let the draft come to me. Hopefully it works out. I would really love to pick up a third championship. I haven't made the playoffs in a couple of years, y'all. 2018, I think, was the last time I made the playoffs. I think 2019 maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, it's been a long time. Nonetheless, I've got CeeDee Lamb going against the Giants. Usually Dak Prescott owns the Giants, so I'm hoping for a big game there. Anyway, so I'm picked to win that one. So those are our matchups this week. Make sure you get in there, do your little tinker time, get your guys ready to play, and let's have a great year. I think this year's draft was the best draft we've had maybe ever. Like, when I go through and look at the teams, this is there's no team that's like way better, no team that's like really crappy. I think it's going to be a great season. I am worried about Bubba's team, Jive Turkeys, because of the Jonathan Taylor news. But man, I think it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a competitive year. So stay on top of your team. Stay on top of the waiver wire. I'll be sending out a message about dues shortly. And because I'm in a legal gambling state, I'm going to give you my lock of the week. I took the Bears at -1. Since I took that bet, the line has moved to -1.5. Man, if that makes you nervous, take the money line. The Bears are going to win this game. They will beat the Packers. Sorry, dear. My wife, Crawdad, she's a big-time Packer fan, lifelong. That said, I think Justin Fields comes in, and I think he just dominates the Bears. So that's my pick of the week, my lock of the week. The rest of y'all, man, I hope y'all have great weeks, except for my wife, Crawdad. I hope she has a bad one. I also hope that Bubba has a bad one. We got to give Bubba as many losses as possible before week 5. Y'all hear me? So if you got Bubba in your schedule in the next couple of weeks, bring it. Let me see your war face. Ah!